If you can play back your life, then that's proof that your life is a video game. That's the theme of the Matrix 4, the hidden theme of the Matrix 4. And it's the hidden theme of this age. There's nobody to play the game for you. There's nobody to play the controls for you. It's not a two-player game. It's a one-player game. It's just you. You're the simulation. Your part one is being mimicked. Your coming of age is being imitated and reproduced. The algorithms know you. The technology knows you. The ads are being catered to your taste, right? Everything you type, advertisements are coming to you left and right, up and down. So all of these things are connected to what you're putting out. And what you're putting out makes it like a game. It makes it like a simulation. What you don't want to be is these different old men in the mirror if you're young. You don't want to be these different old women in the mirror if you're a young woman. The blue pill in this instance was like that in the game. But the thing about it is, even though it was a game, your life, it was still very real, everything that you experienced. But because you can go back over it and hit fast forward and rewind and all of that, that lets you know that it's a game. So then what about the future, right? Now we delve into speculation. Now we're talking about, can you do this whole leapfrog Frogger type thing where you can almost be in two places, be in the process and in the destination after the process. If you can be in those two places, then you can effectively hit fast forward from the present into the future of the film. The reason why you want to savor the experiences and make your visualizations visioneering, which is to add all of the other sensory tones to it and really try to experience as much of that life as possible versus just a still picture or still image of what you want. This is what vision boards are for, to give your subconscious and give your visualizations and your visioneering a fluid movement, and to give it a very real world and a very tangible inner experience for you with these different degrees of snapshots. And what that will do is cause what you want on the inside, what you're experiencing on the inside, to happen on the outside. That makes it a game. That makes it a game. And anytime you stop to meditate, you're effectively pressing pause. But it's really just an extra slow, but it's just as good as a pause, because you can change your mind in 1 second. You can change your mood in 1 second, a few seconds. You can change your whole mood. You can decide in a split second to imagine what you want, and you can decide in the very next second to stick with it, and the very next second after that to stick with it, and the very next second after that. Just this succession of you conquering every second, because you're first to every second. But once you lose the second and lose first place and you lose control over the seconds, then it starts to become more minute. Now you get into the minute, right? You get into the minute. If you waste a minute, then you pronounce hour wrong, and hour becomes whore, and you get lost in time. All of this is the effects of the video game, though. This is your Matrix 4 moment / Matrix 1 moment. You're going through your part one. Everybody's trying to say that your come up was fake. Everybody's trying to say that your talents are scripted, that your gifts are mechanical. Everybody's trying to say that you must be imitating somebody. There's no way you could be this fluid. There's no way you could be this insightful. There's no way you could be this inspirational. No way you could be this motivational. No way you can be this educational. No way you can have this much revelation in you and be authentic. They want to put your real life inside of a video game and say that it was fake, but just because your life was a video game does not mean that it was fake. But you played the game of life correctly, and those that did not are jealous of all of the steps that you took that were right, and they're jealous of the kind of game that you're experiencing. They're jealous of that. They're envious of that, hateful of that, when really your game has nothing to do with their game. They have to experience their own simulation. They have to experience their own awakening. They have to experience their own red pill, blue pill moments. And there's so many different glitches and so many different splits in the timeline where you can fork off and go into different directions. You can go either left or right on this path at any time, because it's not so much a fork in the road as it is different lanes, both headed to two separate tunnels though, but those lanes travel together. They don't really veer off, but there's a divider that's gonna come up eventually where you're gonna have to choose because the tunnels are coming up. You're gonna have to enter in and embody some kind of concept. If you stay in the middle, you're gonna crash out. That is an entire median right there. That is the structure of the two tunnels, both of which you have a choice to enter into. But only one of them. And you start your entire life, no matter where you are from the moment you have conscious awareness of right and wrong. Up ahead are the tunnels in this game. Red, green, red, blue, black, white, whatever you want to shade these two things to differentiate which tunnel is which, you go ahead and do that. I'll leave that up to your imagination to fill in. But the concept of you having a choice is just like the concept of you having a tree, whether it's a tunnel or it's a tree of life versus a tree of the knowledge of good and evil, whether it's the choice for good or evil, bad or good, right or wrong. The tunnel, either where you're going to enter and embody and step into an entire world that is based on your decision, and it's going to represent a tunnel, still going to be a part of the world, but represent a tunnel within the world, where it will be like you have a firmament within a firmament. What is a firmament? A firmament is a dome. This goes into a lot of controversial arguments between the flat earthers and people who say that the globe is what it is. It's just a ball. And that's another conversation for another day. But all of these things also play into the game. You have to consider this. That there could very well be the possibility that nothing that you've ever seen on TV has ever been real. Have you ever entertained that in this simulation? The fact that what if every last thing that has ever been televised or spoken about by the media has been staged? What if all of it was a play to govern people to operate a certain way? And what if those who are over the production of the play that gets all people to act a certain way, what if they believe something in life that is totally opposite from the play? What if they have certain rules in the play that are designed to push people away because of the taboo nature of how they appear on the surface, thereby causing those who don't really have a thirst for the truth not to find it because they didn't take the baby steps to discover the small portions of truth. So when they get to more difficult and more weighty topics, they are shied away. But for the more seasoned and the more experienced, those who are not on milk but are ready for solid food, who have their senses trained to discern between good and evil, those ones, they are allowed access. What did Jesus say? For everybody else, all of this is just stories. But for you guys, you have been given the secrets to the kingdom. Why? Because you stayed close to the master. Not just, not in physical proximity, what we're saying, but mentally, your proximity to getting knowledge and growing and expanding. These godlike qualities, right, is what makes you more masterful and more like a master. If you want to designate any master of your choosing, I'm not going to infringe on your beliefs. But whatever you call perfection, whatever the height of your human ideal is, right? This is why in the Old Testament, God kept saying, I'm not just your God, Moses. I'm the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. What was he saying? Because God also means power. I'm the power of. The absolute power of. God is also what? Another term for perfected, the unqualified. I'm the unqualified. I'm the perfected version of your role models. It's what the idea of God will be. And again, this can be changed if you step into the clip off. And that's covered in either 10 or 11, possibly even 12 videos here on this page. Should be relatively recent. You'll see them. You'll see them there. But again, this is the simulation that you're in. This is the video game that you're in. There really is no pause. And just by existing, you already hit start. Meditation is about the closest thing you're going to get to pause, which is really just a slow-mo button. And you can't fast forward unless you're both embodying the process that it takes to get there, because you have to take physical actions, right, in order to get into your future. That is giving your faith arms and legs. That is giving your faith life, right? But you also have to embody the job well done. You have to embody the finished product. You have to feel the emotional sensations of having accomplished it. So you have to be in two states at once if you want to hit fast forward from the present into the future. But of course, you can hit rewind and fast forward very easily between the past and the present. That's in your memory. That happened. But as far as the present into the future, which is what we are placing particular emphasis on, that requires you having a dual imagination, both imagining yourself accomplishing what you're doing to get there and imagining yourself as having already accomplished what it takes to be there. So again, this is Super T Sigma. You play your game your own way. There's only one way to win, which is the way that you choose that works best for you. But continue to learn. Understand that the players change, but the game doesn't. Peace.